When you go for a job interview, it is a sales pitch. Going to sell yourself and sell the product. The product is your talent. The product is what you can do. If there's a tech talent out there that went only for one interview and got a job, I want to talk to you. When you get these opportunities, are they like mostly contracts, freelance, long-term engagements?
Contracts and freelance. We are working on something similar to Fiverr.
We might be able to start getting to a level where we can also have jobs here in the United States and even in Europe and everywhere in the world. Africa doesn't lack tech talent. Africa do lack the opportunities, they lack the access, and they lack the protection of their tech talent. Hello everybody and welcome back to SecureAfric. I am your host Tarin. Here we explore digital trends, cybersecurity, tech talent development and entrepreneurship in a way that's simple, practical, and reflect our everyday African experience. We also shine a spotlight on entrepreneurs and innovative startups that are making an impact across the continent and all around the world. In today's episode, we are joined by a guest who is the founder of Africa Tech Global. Africa Tech Global is an organization that is deeply involved in humanitarian and tech talent work. These include training refugees in the United States with practical information technology skills, as well as supporting the growth of tech talent across the African continent. Our guest is also a professor of computer science at a US college, bringing both academic and, of course, real-world industrial experience. So while Africa Tech Global is involved in many important initiatives, today we are particularly talking about one key area, and this area reflects how African tech professionals are being connected to real technological opportunities and gigs in the United States. This episode is about skill, it's about access, it's about trust, and of course, it's about building global pathways for African tech talent. So please stay with us, and we'll be right back. Africa, hey, 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 Africa, hey. Okay, we are back, and Dr. Christelle, thank you for joining us today. Thank you very much for accepting to come and share your story with us, taking out this time to come and share with my audience your experiences and some of the things that you have been doing to help the African tech ecosystem. We know that when something like this, in terms of Africa Tech Global, when you started this, it's probably when I speak to a lot of people, they have a lot of personal stories that helped them or that motivated them to go into this type of journey. So if you don't mind telling us your story behind Africa Tech Global.
Thank you so much for inviting me to this platform. I really appreciate it. I know I always like to help people, and people who were coming around me were people who are refugees, who are immigrants, and who were asking me a lot of helps, like writing their resumes, how to apply for jobs, because in the US, you cannot really have a job now if you don't know at least 5% of using the computer. They use the computer to do, even if you're doing HHA to report, like HHA is at home healthcare taking care of patients. You really
Yeah.
need to have some hands-on, at least minimal on the computers. And I saw those people coming for help from left and right, and I decided why not helping them. And I met also, because they always have people who inspire you, who have done it, and then who motivate you. His name is Walanjo. So when I met with him, I saw exactly what I wanted to do in him, what he has started. So he just walked me through and said, "You can do it too." And he helped me with ideas how to put the company together. And when I left his office, when I got, because I was in another state, and I started working on putting things together to not just have something that I'm helping one on one, but to benefit the whole community from New York and New Jersey, people joining online from everywhere, people from
Mhm.
different states who come and participate. So what I do is giving them, I call it basic IT skills. Basic, as the word say, basic.
Yeah.
We I teach them how to write their resume using AI tools, instead of spending a lot of time, this is how you can do. I teach them Google Drive, cybersecurity, the basic awareness that they should do,
Mm.
or they should have at least to learn into their dream jobs. It could
Yeah.
be any kind of job, but at least you need to fill out that basic application. Yes, so Africa Tech is founded since 2023. So now it's 503C now. Even the government, they know us. So yeah, that's actually my
Oh, wow.
story. Thank
That
you.
yeah, that's great. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. That's really great. You see, it starts from helping somebody, right? People coming to you, it may have been friends or somebody that you have helped before, bringing other people to you and asking you for help, learn basic skills and all that, and then all of a sudden, it's growing and getting bigger, and to the level of forming an organization to be able to enable you or facilitate you to put this help out there as much as possible, right? And this story, the good thing about this is that it didn't just end in the United States, because you started doing this. From what I learned, what I'm learning, you started doing this, you started exploring other avenues. This is not just getting local in the United States. You're trying to help tech talents back home in Africa as well, across the continent, right? And help connect them to maybe gigs or some job opportunities that you may find in the United States, that you can connect them to get, maybe whether it's short terms or freelance. Uh, what specific gaps did you really see in the African tech ecosystem that you could say needed you to help, or that made you to have this rethink or think about not just concentrating it in the United States, but also trying to help our brothers and sisters that are also back home?
Yes, as I said before, it was identifying, as I say, when you want to solve a problem, you identify the problem and then you provide a solution. Africa Tech
Hmm.
was there to provide a solution. Even
Yeah.
though I was trying to help Africans, it's not only African to come
Hmm.
to the trainings that I do online and stuff like that. I have Americans. So those people who are age who didn't even have time to at least to have this access also to computers because of
Hmm.
any reason that happened in their lives. So I saw people from Haiti, and a lot of people from South America who are joining the program. So what actually drove me to put the paper to work was actually the African community, because I see that they need help how to value their talents. It's not like they don't have talent, they have talents, but
Of
it's
course,
not,
there's a lot
they
of
don't
talent.
have access and alignment to US opportunities. What
Hmm.
helped me, as I said, because I could even do the business beside registering and making stuff, but it was to help them, because I knew that if
Yeah.
I put everything into place, it will help them unless people will trust what we're doing. So I work in the industry for about 6 years, and when we talk about IT, if we want to be honest, we're talking about Indians, right? So in those companies,
Oh yeah, there are a lot, right? It will be hard for you to get in any department and you don't find one or two that is your
exactly.
co-worker or that.
So
So they have really mastered this this
perfect,
space and this
exactly.
IT world.
So
Yeah,
I
they
work
have.
with them from the two companies that I work with. It was 100% mostly. If it's not a contract, their hands are there. Even in the classroom when I was doing my master, I would say I was the only African girl. It's not like I'm trying to say, but it's just like they were there. You see
Yeah,
African, Indian girls, but not African girls. You will not see. It was kind of like, I'm like, what is happening to
we are
us?
being left behind.
There's a problem somewhere. There's a
Yeah.
gap. So I felt like, and when I was in contact with one youth in Africa, I felt like these people are skills, because I gave them something they were able to do.
To do it.
Not maybe at the perfection, but they were able to do it. But how I say, like, how to connect them to the opportunity that we have here, because I have a job, and every morning we have to report to Indians. That I saw a lot of companies in America, they're giving the jobs to India, and we were working like we have kickoff meetings. Like we have to relay the job at 4 before we go home to the Indian people. So it was like a 24 hours job in data, in big data. You have to make sure that you transfer the data. It's like we have to collaborate with them, talk to them. They also collaborate with us in the morning. So I was like,
Mhm.
we have companies in America. They trust Indian for a reason. Maybe they never try Africa. Maybe they never have any, person who facilitate things. So I'm like, okay, let me do
Mhm.
something. I'll put things together so that we can also have, even if it's not at that level, but we have to start at the small level, and maybe one day we'll get there. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Uh, and when you talk about this, the way that the Indians have mastered this space, right? And even in their country, like I was talking to one of the guys here, Mr. Samoa, who is the founder of Cloud Heroes Africa. He is training uh, talents back in Africa, and more about he's more about cloud technology, right?
okay,
Cloud computing and all that.
yes,
And he was telling me in this episode, he was telling me about how our time in Africa, our time difference is even way better for our talents to find jobs in the United States than
that
India,
Indian,
because
yes,
India has a really
11,
because before
12, yes,
yeah,
that way
the time difference is a lot.
it's a
So
lot,
he was like, that even works to our advantage.
yes,
And like, if there are more and more organizations or more people out here trying to train tech talents back home, trying to help them, we might be able to get to start getting to a level where we can also have a lot of our brothers and sisters that can work from Africa and have jobs here in the United States and even in Europe and everywhere in the world, and they can be able to export this tech talent while they work remotely, because a lot of IT jobs are remote, right? A lot of them are remote, so
exactly,
they can do
exactly,
this from there. So
yes.
it's really, yeah, they have really mastered this space, and it's something that we can learn from as
I
Africans and try
believe
to emulate
everything
what they're doing.
start with the trust.
Hmm.
Trust is something that we need to correct.
Yeah.
Maybe they have tried
Hmm.
before, and maybe something happened, or maybe they never try. There's two options. Maybe they try and it fails, and then they just give up on us. But I think we need to work on
Or maybe they have really not been organizations that are pushing for them to see that there is really tech talent in
that.
Africa,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And that's why something that you're doing like this one is very, very helpful, because you are able to say, hey, you have this job,
Yes.
maybe I have this talent here, right? And that leads me to one question that I was about to talk to you about. Like,
Yeah.
when you look at Africa, right? When you are running this African Tech Global, and when you are identifying talent in Africa, what is the process of identifying talent, and how do you match them with these opportunities here in the United States?
Mostly, I look through your profile. I see
Hmm.
if you are able to do the work, because it's all about, because us here, people would think that we don't work, but we work crazy. We don't have time to play. We don't have time. So when I see that you are someone who can push, and a lot of
Yeah.
people who are willing to push, even to work extra hours, because
Yeah.
you don't complain. You are looking for money. You want to get out of, I would say, poverty, because sometimes we say we don't have because we are lazy. But there are some people who are
That are
willing
not.
to do that. Yeah, who
Yeah.
are actually hard workers. Sometimes they work hard. I'm like, wow. So I like that
Hmm.
kind of spirit. I like that kind of openness. You are willing
Yeah.
to do anything, even if I start small, because sometimes you want to start at the lower level. Because for me to encourage them, I say, okay, if they go to India, they will pay this amount. Let's do
Yeah.
it at this amount. You just take
Hmm.
it and then let's do it. Because
Hmm.
I mean, to get where I am, I started free to get people to know me. I started free. It's not like I got
Yeah.
any money, but I was trying to get where I want to get and get that
Hmm.
trust first, because it's the trust. When you do it
Hmm.
well, they trust you. Now they give you more.
Yeah, and like you're saying, it's not like some people always get this wrong, where they feel like it's because some of the people, and it's everywhere in the world and not even only in Africa. Some people don't just want to do much, right? There are people that will come to work, or there are people that will give a job to them, and they really need the job, but they would not be moved. They are not pushing hard to do the job, to do it well, and then somebody would take that and make it like, hey, all Africans are maybe lazy or they don't want to do the job or they are not talented. But it's just because of that one individual. As when we even talk about Indian, it's not that all of them
No, no, no.
are
Some
really,
of
really
them,
good in it, right?
no.
Some of them are not really good in
Yeah, we
that,
can.
right?
I'm
Yeah.
saying in Africa we have a lot of. I'm
We
working
have
with
a lot of
people. We have
talent,
people
right?
who are very talented. They know
Yeah.
they like what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and they are
Yeah.
ready to do even more if we
Yeah.
push
And
them to our
to do
level because they are not even our level. They do that much. That means if they have the skill that we have, the advantage that we have, they will do
uh,
even more.
and have the hands on, and they're able to do the practice. Yeah, do the
Sometimes
practicals
they
and
don't
do
even
the
have
hands on.
labs because us we train us with so many they don't have
Yeah.
labs to try, but they try their best to get where they have to get. So in
Yeah.
order to identify those talents, I do also coaching. I spend a lot
Mm-hmm.
of time coaching them because I'm there to make sure that we reach the standard because we always talk about standard. It's not like we're not doing well. It's like you are
Mm-hmm.
cleaning your house and someone say it's not clean, but it was clean according to your own eyes. But
Yeah.
just because you have worked with them, you know the expectation. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
resume preparation, like portfolios. I will look at
Mm-hmm.
that. I mean, interview preparation, stuff like that. I try to
And then you can guide, them and give them those seconds, like someone that is right in the place, and you know the expectations, right? You've worked in the industry out here, and you know the expectations. You
yes,
can then be able to transfer that to them and make them to understand that this may be, they may think this is okay, and it's not any fault of theirs, right? It's because also they are trying to
they're
get
trying
in
their
and all
best.
that,
Yes,
right? Yeah, and they're doing
the
their
training
best,
is very important to give
yeah.
them the mentality of people who are here. The
Hmm.
training is important to push them because they don't know what's the expectation. You just have to tell them, just do
Yeah.
it. They like perfection. They don't
Hmm.
want to do something like maybe you have a clothes and then you see a trail. We don't. At least try your best to remove.
Hmm.
And I'm always there also to facilitate because I will test it before we release it. I will
Yeah.
making sure.
And then when they do a full few gigs, they start being pros. They start getting this, and they're like really good, and and
Yes,
they can then start getting more opportunities that may
exactly.
even pay them way more,
Yes,
because of the talent that they have shown, because
exactly.
of the skills that they have shown. So based on this, so when you get these opportunities, are they like mostly contracts? Are they like freelance, or are they like, is it like long term engagements, or just how do they
Mostly
look?
contracts and
Hmm.
freelance mostly.
Okay, contracts.
No full
Yeah.
time like with the company and stuff like that. Unless
Hmm.
we're with someone he needs your services because you have his contact, you have so if you want they if they want, but mostly what I'm doing is a freelance contract. It could be
Hmm.
3 months, it could be 6 months, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But
I mean,
most
and that expose, and when they do well, those freelance, in most of the time, I've done those freelance one some time back, right? And when you do well, you always get contracts, because people will
exactly.
always call you, they'll always refer you, they'll say, "Oh,
Exactly.
who did this for you? This person. Oh, I reached out to Dr. Christelle, and she had this team, and they did this for me." And you always have those contacts, and they may come and ask for the very people,
Yes, you are absolutely
right?
correct. Everyone that I work with, even when the contract ends, they always have something because
Yeah.
someone will just refer and say, "Oh, she's the one who referred me to this," and you say, "Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, how much did you?" And then they look, the price is affordable. It's like, okay, I want to do. So,
Yeah.
actually,
So when you get these clients for them, right? I know that you coach them to ensure that they meet these professional expectations. Are there some of the things that you've seen with them that you would say, hey, maybe before you even you should start learning this type of skills, you should start developing this type of skills? Are there some of the things that you've seen like that you would prefer that they do before the coaching comes in, or is it just the fact that you just coach them on everything, starting from like how to be a team player and all that?
for now, what I see
Hmm.
is like people who went to Polytech. There's one school in this, they went to those universities and stuff like. So I mean, they
Hmm.
learn mostly. They learn. They have some skills. They have some
Yeah.
skills. I
Hmm.
work also with some people who didn't know where to start. Right? I do
Yeah.
mentorship. I help. I say, okay, these are what they need. if you know Photoshop, if you know this, you know this, I'm telling you, I'll send you something even better next week.
Hmm.
Some people just go and study, and they learn, and then they come to me and say, okay,
Say, hey,
and this,
you
because
asked me to go and learn. Here
yeah,
is what I
I'm
learned.
ready.
Yeah,
And sometimes they show me something because I'm like, show me something that you have done,
yeah.
just do something basic and show me. And then they come and say, oh, and they should just send a picture and say, who did that? Is that AI? He say, no, it's me. I'm like, oh, that's good. So now I know I have you in mind.
Yeah, that's great, right? They prove to you that they have gone and done their homework and they are ready. They are ready to work.
They're ready to work. So even beside even signing a contract or something,
Hmm.
because there's sometimes you just do a flyer to me, I send you $20, I send you 10, because I work also for a ministry, and then ministry they
Yeah,
like conferences, they need a lot of flyers,
yeah.
things happening. Even myself, I work with, so I'm like, okay, do this. When you finish, I just send you the money, and a lot of people are satisfied.
Yeah, and
So
you can
yeah,
do some basic, buy some basic
I have some
daily
people
living
also.
expenses and
I met a guy. I told him if you can do you know? Because I was just testing him. He was doing
Mhm.
something in music because I like also some stuff that he was doing. I was like, do you know how to do video editing and stuff like that? No. If I tell you that in less than 3 months that I'm coaching, he knew that I'm working with some people with this, and just in a conversation, I didn't know he was learning that, but he did
Yeah.
something, and I was like, wow, So now I'm sending him some stuff to do because
Wow.
oh,
And he's getting some gigs and he's
exactly
making some money.
just like that. I was saying, like in less than 1 2 months, he learned something. Because I was like, YouTube University is free. What you guys are doing with your time? So just
Yeah, come
go
on.
and learn something, right? But he
A
saw
lot,
that
there's a
I
lot
was
of
not
content in
using him.
YouTube.
He so actually realized I was not using him to do this. I was saying, this person? And he knew some people who were working in the
Mhm.
ministry and stuff like that. And those people are making some money. So it's like, what am I missing? I didn't even push yet, but I saw something that he did. I was amazed. I was like, create your account on Fiverr. I sent him exact. I'm like, okay, go on
Yeah.
Fiverr. Even if I don't give you something, you get something.
You
And as
somebody
soon
will
as
see you on
he
Fiverr and
posted
do.
last weekend, this weekend that passed, he posted
Mhm.
someone contacted. That was
But what?
Fiverr.
Oh, so
Fiverr.
someone contacted him in
Exactly.
Fiverr and gave him a gig.
Yes, he say,
Wow.
look at this. Is that real? Send me. I always know it's scam. I'm like, okay, it's real. Man, it's real. It's real. He was happy. So I
Of
didn't
course,
train
of
him on that.
course.
I didn't train him on video editing, but I show him like, if you know this, you get a job.
Yeah.
You get at least something, even if it's not for me, because I always have some people asking me, can I have a flyer for this research and this and this.
Yeah.
Even at the university, that's how they're getting their some opportunities because there's
Okay, yeah, but with that, with all this, right, and like this guy that you're talking about, I think that will be one of the things that will separate some of the candidates when you are looking your candidates and saying, okay, which one should I pick or which one should I give this gig to? Because I was gonna ask you, like, what really separate candidates, right? What do you look for to separate, like, this is really the person that is motivated? I think I should work with this person. But for someone like the guy you just explained that's motivated, he's going out and looking at YouTube and learning things and coming and proving to you, I think that will separate him as well from other candidates, right?
yeah.
So what are some of the other things that you look in candidates to be able to determine whether you can look for gigs for them, whether you can take them under your wing and push them and mentor them and look for these gigs for them?
I always look for the interest, the motivation. Are you motivated
Hmm.
to make? I always like to make your life better, right?
Yeah.
Because some people complain, but I was like, when I work with some people, I'm like, you keep complaining if you don't do something. But
Hmm.
do you really want to make your life better? Are you looking
Yeah.
for opportunities? Because if
Yeah.
it's in terms of opportunities, we can work together. I want to see that
Okay.
motivation, and mostly consistency, right?
Yeah.
Time management. I would test you. I would do you you'll not even know that it's a test, but I just want your response time. I'm just testing something, and I will
Hmm.
see if you are excuse and say, oh, at a funeral, I know things happen, but I will
Yeah.
give you maybe one day. I'm just, I will not tell you it's a test, but uh,
Yeah.
Communication. If you cannot do it, can you test me and say, "Oh, I had an emergency right now"? You know the way we communicate here. You cannot
Yeah,
go and
communication is very
you know
essential because
the
if
way
you
they
have a
train
deadline,
us.
you need to communicate, right?
Now we know because they
Yeah.
train us like that, right? So now
Yeah.
I want to show them also that there's no excuse when it comes to someone waiting for something. Can you, even if it's emergency, can you at least take 5 seconds and say, "I'm sorry, I have this. I'm testing that kind of stuff. Excuse me, I cannot deliver exactly as we're doing here. If you don't do that, they're
Yeah.
gonna fire you, right?" So the communication is something very. I'll emphasize that and I will test it. If I see
Yeah.
one time, two times, you're always having excuse, right? It will not happen. If you
Yes.
can, look also at your portfolio, how you present yourself, because sometimes people have talent, but they don't know how to sell. I do see market and sell yourself. I will help you because I know that I work a lot with the people. They know. I'm like, how did you? They didn't put this on your resume. Tell me what you know. Then as they telling me, I'm like, you know too much, but you know how. Now let's work on how to,
Yeah. You
market yourself.
Yeah,
Because,
I tell young professionals when they talk to me,
mm,
and sometimes when I go and when I teach, I tell them, when you go for a job interview, it is a sales pitch. You are going to sell yourself. Everyone is there to sell themselves.
yes,
If you think about it as a sales pitch, you are going to give your sales pitch. So you are trying to sell yourself and sell the product. The product is your talent. The
yes,
product is what you can do,
perfect,
right? If you think about it that way, then you are going to prepare for how you can sell yourself,
yes,
right?
yes,
If you put stuffs in your resume and you are not able to talk about them, that is a problem, right?
yeah,
Because and interviewers are different. There's another person that will come and sit through and pick on every line in your resume. There's other person that will just come and hold a conversation with you without even looking at your resume and just say, "Hey,
exactly,
tell me about the things you do." So
yes,
there are people. So you need to be prepared to be able to sell yourself. It needs to be a sales pitch. It needs to be something that you can tell somebody and convince them
yes,
of what you can do,
yes.
right? Because they are hiring you based on what you told them.
That's exactly what it is. Yes,
Yeah, they haven't seen you do anything.
exactly. So
It's like
even
you
the way
going to
you
them.
talk, but
Yeah,
because the first thing is the first impression is true. How you present yourself, true, but how you talk about yourself. Don't say negative things about you that happen. So I test your willingness to learn because I understand that not everybody knows. Even myself, I learn. Right, so people train me. I went to interview, I failed, but I learned from that. So I test your willingness to learn. I'm not expecting you to know everything, but I can say, I need this, I need this skill, I need this skill. And if you don't have this, you can even try React because, for example, I teach mobile app. They show us you have to do it according to the curriculum using Android. But it's not only Android to develop apps, right? So I tell
yeah.
my student, beside what is there, this is also an option. If your willingness to learn is deep, you go and learn also because it's not only Android Studio that you'll be using to develop apps and in
Yeah.
real life when you go to job. But if you are willing to learn, you go and learn React Native, for example. You will just learn another skills. So I can tell you what you're doing is good, but some people prefer this one. Maybe this is the demand. Are you willing to learn? When
And
you
that's
know
and
one,
that
you can, adjust yourself.
Yeah, and that's the thing with information technology, right? You always have to stay relevant, right?
Exactly.
No one thing is done in just one way, right?
Okay.
And just to close on on the interview thing that we were talking about, I was just you were talking and I was thinking about it and I was almost laughing because like when you were saying you have gone to interviews and fail, and this is something I tell people, interview is not because you will go right now on one interview you're going to get a job. I would say if there's a tech talent out there that went only for one interview and got the job, I want to talk to you. I want to really know what you
Yes,
did.
yes,
you know,
yes,
because it's multiple interviews. It
yes,
becomes like a training. You learn from it and you grow. They ask you questions that you don't know. You come back and you're like, they asked me this and I didn't know, so I have to learn about that thing. What was that they asked me, right?
yes,
And then you build your confidence from there and you keep moving. But
yes,
if you don't just give up by doing one interview, you know
yes, yes, yes.
yeah. And then Also, when we're talking about this now, we have been talking about they must be sitting there and thinking that, oh, a tech talent in Africa, they're watching this and they're like, okay, how do I get in contact with Dr. Jolie? I am very passionate. I have my resume. I have these skills that I've been working on, and they are of no use right now. But I think that she can help me. So, how do they submit their resumes to you, or how do they get in contact to be able to talk to you and maybe see if you can help them?
Yeah, so those who are interested, I'm the one handling everything now because
Yeah.
I prefer it like that way so that at least I have when it will get bigger, maybe I'll train more people who can and but for now I manage. I have my email. The website is there. You go on the website, contact us. I have some people
Okay.
who help, but mostly I make sure I'm there, right? Because I don't
Hmm.
want anyone to mess up with things that are happening because I'm the one who
Hmm.
connect people. I need to be there.
Yeah.
I need to know, I handle 100% of things that
Hmm.
are happening in the company. They have like four of us. Some people are just teachers. They train. If I'm not there to train people, they will train and
Hmm.
stuff like that. But if it comes to interviews, I'm the one who manage most of the time. So my
Yeah, yeah, and you are talking about the interviews now. I was going to ask you that as the next question. Like, what is the interview process once they submit their resumes and you look at that and you like it? What is the interview process like?
technical skill assessment.
Yeah.
I'll prepare you for the interview, right?
Hmm.
So I'll prepare if it's I have to connect you one to one with the person, but most of the time I say this is what they need, just go and do it, and then I'm like the middleman or the middle person. So it depends. If I need to connect you to someone, I'll prepare you. Say this person want a website in 2 weeks.
Hmm.
Everything that he tell you, just say yes. Yes, we're gonna get this. I know him. I know how it works. So he's not picky or he's picky. He will just say yes. I can do it. I'll handle the rest. Okay, because I'll make sure I'll test everything before we hand it to him. So don't just say yes, yes, yes. I'll do it in weeks, and then you know don't say I don't know or I don't know everything. Just say yes.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
just
yeah, because in most of the time these are clients that you have worked with before, and these are people that you know, right? You have a connection with them, you have a relationship with them before, so
yes.
you know their expectations, and
Exactly.
even if you get a new customer or a new client, you probably it will still work to know you probably know that environment, know what they are looking for, so you'll be able to help these talents to be
Yes.
able to get up to
Mostly
speed and
to because I identify, as I said, as an entrepreneur, you always identify what's the problem. Even at the
mm,
workplace where I work now, that's actually I saw the
mm,
the people who are working there, old people and stuff like that, IT, they don't know. So they hand the things to me. And when, like yesterday, someone said, I don't know how to do PowerPoint. I was like,
mhm.
But you're not going to ask my colleague, you're not going to ask him to help, to pay this time behind the scene. I'm like, okay, I have people who can do this for you and stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
their
yeah.
portfolio website, I have
Mhm.
taken a lot of opportunities there to handle in Africa now because they don't really know IT much because they were studying into books, that all
Yeah, 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 yeah.
off. And so we are
Ah,
kind of the young faculty there. So I'm trying to see, how to help them.
so see, doing PowerPoint is not a given for everybody. When you are saying that, I'm laughing because I that was my problem when I started working in IT. I did not know that I was going to be doing all these PowerPoints. But when you're working in the corporate world, you're going to need to present something to your manager. You are not going to need to present something to your team, and you're going to need to present something to the client. And when you're talking, especially to the higher level guys like the C level executives and people above you, they do not have time to go through all those details and look at all those line by line things. They want you to bring that presentation and show them the highlight and tell them the picture of what is going on. I did struggle with that for my first year.
Yeah.
I really struggled with that.
Yeah, PowerPoint, sometimes you think that it's basic. It's true that I teach it. When I do my basic computer skills, I'm like, okay, I teach them what basic computer skill, like those stuff that open a computer. I show them what's a RAM, what's a motherboard,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like those basic stuff from computer, at least the first part, the hardware. So I teach them all those basic stuff. I teach them a Word, Microsoft Word, because that's
Yeah.
actually what you need to at least type something at work or report yourself. I teach them Google Drive. I teach them cybersecurity awareness and stuff like that. I don't go
Mhm.
deeper, but at least what they need to protect
Just the
their account so
basics.
that they don't get scammed. Because when you're coming from Africa, you just want to say yes to everything, share your password, that kind of stuff that will help them at least to not be scammed also, kind of stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know,
Protect them.
but
Make them safe
protect,
online. You know.
yes, yes, to
Yeah.
protect themselves, because I know ignorance is also something that we need
Hmm.
to also work,
Yeah.
so at the jobs mostly that we have now, that are there, is mostly I'm using my colleagues when they need help. And I like when they need help from me, and I was like, okay, behind the scene, because they will say thank you. I'm like, behind the scene, I'm like, okay, you have a professional website, need this, do you need this, and
Yeah.
all they know already that I have my company.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's a very good niche. There are lots of people, and
And then you use it to help your people back home and call them and say,
like
hey,
when they ask
there's a
me
job
for
here.
help, I'm like, oh, I got another
Yeah.
one. And some people will say, oh, gossip of sedition, she's gonna help you and do this, the PowerPoint, because we have conferences every time. So if they don't know, I'm like, okay, that's good. At least I know
Yeah.
someone in Africa will profit from this. So
Right, right.
so
And because of the good repetition now, you get more opportunities for people back home.
it's,
And when they come and do the job well too, the repetitions keep growing, and
yeah,
that's how you keep getting these gigs that you can share with other people as well.
it's,
So I wanted to ask as well, do you post these gigs anyway, or is it a matter of you just wait for the resumes and then you match them with the gigs that are coming up?
yes, I'll contact the person. I say, can you do this quickly for
Mhm.
me? Can you do this in less than 1 month? I'm sure you can do. Even if the person's 2 months, I
Mhm.
would tell you 6 weeks, so that at least I have time to, back and forth. And, so
Okay.
mostly is, I post that there. We are working actually on the website. On the website,
Mhm.
we're gonna add a page
Oh,
there
that's good.
now, and we are also working on one app. My team, they are working on one app, so that I want everybody to post their own profile. We are working on something similar to Fiverr.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, okay. Wait, I think when that is out, you can come back here and we can talk about it.
yeah, so actually, I'm working on that. It's just because I didn't check, with them, since it's my own. I was putting other people project like priority, but we are
Yes.
working on something like that, like Fiverr. I want people to come and put their profile there, and then we're gonna work.
That
We will have
that
80%,
would be massive.
and I have 20%. At least in my app, so post your talent there, and
That would be exciting. That would be exciting
even
for
on
our
the
African
website, it
brothers
will
and
be
sisters.
there.
You know, yeah.
I will push that they finish my website. It will be services, and then everyone can put his profile picture
Yeah.
exactly as freelance. At Fiverr,
Fiverr, yes.
yes, those people who are
I
used to.
mean, I think this is a lot. I think they are going to be excited and waiting for this website to be up so that they can go and upload their profiles and wait to be matched with some gigs. I
Yes.
think this is massive. This is good for them.
Yes, yeah. Actually,
This is good for
I
them.
feel like this is something that will value them, and I want them to market themselves.
Oh,
To
yes.
show everything that you have. Sometimes you show 5%, sometimes you show 50%, sometimes you show 90%. Show even more, and then learn, because sometimes we always learn, right?
Yeah.
I always tell them, when you go on YouTube, you know, learn something and
Yeah.
put it there. Don't just say, as soon as I learn something, even myself, when I put something, if I learn it online, or it doesn't matter. If I know, I just put it there. So
Yeah. So now with these guys listening to us now, and these talents listening to us now, they are probably thinking like, what skills do you mostly look for, right? Like, what tech skills are you mostly looking for, or what should I prioritize, right? Like, is it about only software development, or what other skills should I? Is there some cybersecurity, like cybersecurity analyst jobs, or what are the skills that they should be prioritizing, or do you have some particular ones that you often come across the jobs and
mostly,
those jobs?
since I am more in mobile apps development,
Hmm.
website and web, right?
Yeah.
I would advise people to know at least web development, front
Okay.
end JavaScript, React,
Hmm.
know how to build your own and to train yourself to be perfect and to, and then even my own, I have the church I go to. I have a lot of churches who need, even beside even those big, I will not say big industry. There are a lot of people coming from those websites, even WordPress, kind of stuff like that.
Hmm.
Beside that, and so website development, one, mostly mobile apps, know how to build something from scratch and, build it there. Be IT skills. We have also Photoshop, video editing,
Hmm.
using, now they have a lot. Before we were training people, we have some training session even where I teach with Adobe Premiere Pro and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
So we were looking for people who can just do shorts and stuff like that. For even ministries, they're looking for people who can just take their message and just
Hmm.
screenshot. I'm giving a lot of people jobs just on video editing,
Wow.
Photoshop, not even Photoshop, now Canvas, because I have some accounts. I have
Hmm.
Canvas account, ChatGPT account that I share with a lot of people. They, is my account, but whoever wants to use those
They
accounts,
can.
they can use it. And
No, that's massive. That's massive. So yeah, they're probably going to be excited and working on that and waiting for the website. But the people who already have the skills, if you don't have the skills yet, they should be working on that
yes,
while waiting
if
for
you
the
know
website. And
flyers,
yeah.
stuff like that, they're always something. They always, at least
Hmm.
once a month, they always something. There's
Yeah.
always someone smiling with the $20 somewhere because you just did the flyer. It's
Yes.
true, you can do
And
that.
maybe that flyer will not take you up to two
It's
hours or
not
three
even
hours.
2 hours too. So
Yeah.
those are small things that even when someone asks me to do something, please can you do this? I'm like, instead of saying I don't have time, I just say, okay, I'll pay someone $20 and just give it to him,
Yeah.
so and stuff like that. Just to sometimes you keep communication with people.
Yeah, and those things that you give for $20 is not because like it's just the start. Like, okay, you just submitted this. We are waiting for something big, but this is something you can do. Get some $20 and maybe you can
Exactly.
have your food for the day, and that's
Their logos,
great, right?
okay. With
Yeah.
Photoshop, there's another person who is special, like only logos and stuff like that. So those company
Okay. Logo designs and all that.
logo designs and stuff like that. He used that.
Hmm.
Always there's at least $100. I'm like
Wow.
so there are a lot of opportunities that are out there. When I see that you can do that in less than, I give
Yeah.
you time and you can follow instruction, you can work together.
Mhm. I think people are going to be excited and waiting for that website. While the other people that already have their talent, their training, their skills already, they're going to probably be submitting their resumes to you and waiting for feedback, right? So as we're talking about this too, when they are working from Africa and trying to work with the clients here, I know that they interface with you and you are like a middleman, right? But in case they are connecting and talking to the clients, and also maybe if there's another team that is probably collaborating with them and talking to them, they how do you deal with the cultural differences or the style and how they can communicate and do teamwork and like interact with those teams? Or is that the reason, or is that the reason you are just a middleman, and or is there cases that you have them talk to each other?
Yeah, there are cases where when I know there are a lot of people who I trust even the school they went to, because I look at the school and I know that those people they are very talented. So
Hmm.
over there you can, and sometimes they are even bilingual. So they speak French, they speak English. You
Hmm.
can leave them to talk to the client. You trust. You know that you have trained them, just say yes. And if you don't understand something, comes back to me. And there are some
Hmm.
people where I am mostly the middleman, right? So cultural is mostly strictly deadline. I no excuse when I give you a job, unless and communication, mostly direct communication. Those are some people they don't like to communicate, so those are things that you train them on, right?
Hmm.
uh, the culture, we live in different culture, we have to
Of course.
admit that. We live in
Very, very
different we,
different.
we live in different time zones. We have to admit that, but
Yes.
we can always try to manage it. It's possible because as you said before, Indian the time difference is even the gap is maybe 9 hours or 8 hours difference is
Mm.
different than us, than African, and here is maybe 6 5 hours depending on
Yeah.
where you are. So we can do that. So
Yeah.
if you're motivated to learn or to have to get something, because we always start with something. Don't just say,
Yeah. Well, I mean, we start with something, right? That's true.
yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of the, maybe this one could get them excited, right? But just a number there. Like, let's say somebody gets a 3 month contract,
Mhm,
right? Or a 3 month gig that they are going to do, build a website or build an application or an app or something like that.
mhm.
But how do you often see them? How much do you often see them making? I mean, just it's just a range. It's not like,
The
it
the
must not be
range,
like, because yeah,
the range,
because
the money.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's one person who connected him to a ministry who needed their website to publish their Bible. He got 3,600 for that app. He's the one
Wow.
who made the price.
In 3 months, or it was, how long does it take
It
him
took
for that
two
project?
months and a half.
Wow.
Yes, yes,
Wow. That's a lot of money.
yes.
That's it. When you convert that, that's a lot of money. When
Yeah,
you convert that to local currency.
he got the thing. Today maybe they contact me. There's an issue with the updated the app and stuff like that because it didn't do. But there's no complaint. There was no
Yeah,
complaint. He was
but
satisfied. It's just
that's
that
regular,
update.
that's
And
regular operation and maintenance, right? So
yes,
I mean, yeah.
yes. So it's like after a year, it's coming back, but
Wow.
he's willing to do that. He's working on that. But then will complain. He got 3,000. I think it was 600 if I'm not. Because he
Yeah.
put the price and
That's good money. That's good money. Yeah. So any, I know that that's probably part of the success story, because I wanted to ask if there's any particular success stories that are specifically touching to you, that Africa Tech Global has come across, or that you have since you started.
success story. I see a lot of people who are very happy to work with us. I have people. I will just name countries where I
Hmm.
got people. I got people. At least three people in Benin.
Okay.
Benin. I have people in Cameroon. I have
Hmm.
people in France. Website because those are no, flyers, mostly flyers and marketing and stuff like that. Doing
Hmm.
marketing, stuff like that. Audios behind, a presentation and stuff like that. Video editing also, friends. I have
Hmm.
a lot of people in Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory
Oh,
Coast. I think that's what
yeah.
the Ivory Coast. I have some people, which country again? Gabon.
So you're all over Africa. You're really doing this thing.
One
You're
one person
you're helping the continent across the board.
trying. I have people
Wow, wow,
in Congo. Yeah, one person in
wow,
Congo. Yes, mostly
wow.
Cameroon now and
Yeah,
Benin. Yes, those two countries. I think
yeah.
one in France for now. One
Well,
person in
probably it's because it's still by word of mouth, right? People did not
yes,
yet know you, and they don't
there's
know what
someone
you're doing.
someone referring because
Yeah.
I knew someone in Canada. And he was working in the bank in the BEAC bank. I don't know
Hmm.
how to say that, but it's one of those big African bank. And when
Yeah.
I wanted his skills to do that, he said, refer me to someone there. The person also referred me to another person, and the person, I'm like, do you know someone who can do this? They say, oh, okay, yes, okay. We give him the job. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We should probably refer you to Cloud Heroes Africa. I think they also have a lot of talent out there, and I mean, there's a lot of more talent in Africa. But Cloud Heroes Africa also has a lot of students that he is training from all across Africa, all different countries. And of course, the other people that will be listening to this should also get in contact and submit their resumes. And also, how do you see the Africa's role in the global tech workspace evolving?
Uh,
especially with the coming of AI now. That is just it's just blowing everyone's mind. It's just everywhere.
Africa is becoming a major contributor of the global tech workforce. I see
Mm.
a lot of people more uh, expanding their knowledge in tech or IT. I would say they're really interested. Sometimes people they just need either advisement or mentorship or coaching.
Yeah.
But I
Hmm.
feel like people are ready, especially I'm working with young people mostly is young
Yeah.
people, so they are
Yeah.
kind of they are very a good force of Africa Tech because we have done a lot. We have done even website, my own stuff. So I feel like it's a really they are a good contributor with the right training structure and exposure. Africa Talent will not just fill those roles, but they can do that innovation. Sometimes they don't even know. Some people they don't know about AIs and stuff. But when you train them, they even become more expert than you because they have time.
Yeah, they have talent. They have skills. They're intelligent.
And they have time, they have
Yeah,
time because when I show them one thing and then they say, when I was looking this, I saw this. When I was looking, I'm like, and that's what I like, because
they
even
go and
before you
explore.
get
They go and explore to learn
explore,
more.
when you
Yeah,
have that mentality to learn, things becomes easy, and I feel like they know even more AI. Like sometimes I show them, oh, do you use this and this? Because I feel like they have time, and sometimes they
mhm,
were not using their time effectively. But
yeah,
they just need like someone to guide them, and then as soon as you guide them, they're all over. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like
So
it's the
yeah, and wow, that's good because they have the time to explore and they can explore. And
yeah,
when they do that, they also show their enthusiasm to learn. They also show their
exactly,
motivation to you,
and that's
right?
the good thing that we're looking for because
Yeah,
you don't know, but when as soon as we click, you open the door, and then they jump, they do even more. I really like that spirit also.
yeah, yeah. So, what would be one piece of advice that you would give an African tech professional right now, aiming to have these global opportunities? Do you have any piece of advice that you can give them?
And be patient with
Mm.
yourself. Discipline is something very important in life, in every aspect, even IT, and everything. I would say discipline is something that we mentioned, and I would say prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Take time to learn. Don't waste time on TikTok. Don't waste time on looking at other people life, what they're doing in their house. That doesn't. When you have time, learn, and that will build something. Learn something that will help you to be at the level that you want. Put a goal. Every time you set a goal, you say, did I reach the goal? Put a weekly goal. I have to learn this. I have to learn. I have to learn this. Take time. Don't talk to people who are just wasting your time. Don't waste time.
Yeah,
Don't waste time. I cannot put myself in front of a video that I'm not learning something. Sometimes if you are talking about your life, I'm not concerned. But am I learning something? And the same thing I've told my students. I'm like, you're taking the train to come because I teach you. No, you're taking the train to. How long do you spend in the train? 1 hour. What are you doing on the train? Listening to music and stuff like. Take this class. Maybe even find something on YouTube as you're learning on those 1 hour. If you're learning something, it's
yeah, yeah,
always there's always a reward. Be consistent with that learning.
yeah,
Just put yourself
yeah,
some goals. I need to get this certification. I need to get this by the end of this month. I'll do this. By the end of this
yeah.
month, I'll do this. Don't find
And
short.
so, and sometimes when you have those goals, like I need to achieve this, then you align yourself with those friends and those people that are driving towards your direction,
Yeah.
and not just be everywhere, right?
Yes.
Is there any certification that you would advise them to take, or do you even look for
I even have
certifications?
someone is in my team who told me he's training people in Comcha A plus. I was like, Comcha A plus in Africa. He said, yeah, companies are looking for people who have a Comcha certification. I was like, wow. I have a partnership with Comcha. We can work together. So train yourself. I think Comcha. if you have already at least a diploma, I will not recommend certification if you don't have a degree, right?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
you get at least a degree, like associate degree, like last license, I don't know, bachelor, and then unless you get
Hmm.
a certification now to
Okay.
strengthen what you know and
Mhm.
get more certification, you have more time, you have no kids, take advantage of that before
Yeah.
when
For
you're
you.
young,
For you.
take advantage
Yeah.
of the time, invest in your skills, your character, your professionalism.
Hmm.
Try to put yourself together and say, this is what I know. There's
So.
certification like Google certification. There are even free certification that they give
Yeah.
online, right?
Yeah.
Even YouTube, you go on Coursera or something like that.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's not free, but it's minimum. But the
Yeah.
cost of education is nothing. Save your money and
Invest in yourself, right?
invest in yourself.
Yeah. All right, everybody, you heard everything. You heard what she said. You heard this was really for everyone, especially these all the young people, the young talents, and everyone that is still learning cybersecurity, information technology, even cybersecurity as well, and everything regarding IT. Right. This episode was really for you, especially when you are sitting in Africa and you're thinking that there is really no opportunity. There is opportunities, right? And opportunities like this one are going to come, right? Opportunities. That's why a lot of us here, when we see these type of opportunities, we want to share it so that everyone can know about it and everyone can try to see if they can at least get something doing, if they can get a gig here or there in order to make ends meet. So keep up learning. You have to keep learning, keep putting your skills into practice, and then an opportunity will come. Okay. So thank you for joining us today. Africa doesn't really lack talent, like we said, right? Africa tech talent is really globally ready, right? What's needed is just access. What's needed
That's
is just trust. What's needed is just opportunity. Okay. So if you did like this video, if you watch this video and you like it, and please go ahead and click the like button. Please follow us, subscribe, and then click the notification bell so that when we upload new content, you should be notified. And other than that, we thank you very much for joining us today. And thank you, Dr. Christelle, for coming and sharing your story with us. These talents and these tech professionals are going to be very happy and they're probably going to be reaching out to you.
Thank
So
you for
thank
the
you very much.
opportunity. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone. And we'll see you in our next episode. Thank you.